What's up, guys? This is J&Jlive. I'm your host, Jefferson Schill. You know my partner.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jared Jenkins.
Today we're joined by CTO and founder of SeedLogix, John Aguilar. John, thanks for joining us. Can you give us a quick introduction of yourself?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for that. I appreciate you inviting me. So, as Jay said, I founded a company called SeedLogix. Our software platform is really designed to help not only the business owner, but multi-locational businesses manage their online presence, search engine optimization, inbound marketing. So I've been doing that since 2009. Software was developed in 2012. So we've had this platform refined and redeveloped and rebuilt since then. So I've been in this field for a long time and have a lot of knowledge for it and, understand how to combine technology and processes to get results online.
Cool. Thank you, John, and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get straight into it. We want to talk about SEO. Can you just start from a very, very bare basic and just tell us, what is SEO and why is it so crucial for a company to have a strong SEO presence?
Right. So, when you talk to me about SEO, it's a little bit different because nowadays the way I look at SEO is much more than just search engine optimization, right? SEO is more of a technical layer to overall presence online, right? You got to have your right structure on your site design, quality, content, all those things. So to me, when someone says SEO, obviously the business owner's thinking first page placement, more visibility online, rankings on Google. To me, SEO is more of a combination of social media marketing, content marketing, and all the technically sound pieces you need to have visibility or eligibility to rank online. So those things, really combining those three, and we'll get into more of those as you go down those paths. But to me, when I describe search engine optimization, it's really the combination of those three things to ultimately generate leads online or get the phone call, phone ringing.
We hear this term a lot around our office, optimizing your website for SEO. So it sounds like optimizing SEO would be taking a combination of what you just had mentioned and putting it into your website. And that would then in turn be optimizing your website for SEO. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say, right. So, there's just a big disconnect when people reference SEO because they think SEO in a sense is going to get you first page placement. It's step one, right? I need to get my site structured properly to where when a search engine actually finds my website that, it's going to give me the credibility that I need to rank. And then that's just your starting point, right? So moving from that step on is really when you go into the act of validation and really producing content that's going to get you to a point that you need to be on a ranking standpoint.
John, I hear a lot of terms like meta tags, alt text. What exactly are meta tags? Right.
So, that's the part of the SEO or the optimization you need to do on your website, right? So the meta structure is very important from a title and description standpoint, right? That's your chance to give search engines their best attempt of what this page is about, right? So if a user's searching for widget ABC, ideally you want your meta title to be, we sell widget ABC, and description about why you sell widget ABC and the best path of finding your website or best path of doing business with you, right? And so it's extremely important because it's your starting point. Doesn't necessarily mean that's going to get you ranking, right? It just means that it's going to give you that starting point. So when they do scan your website, when I mean they bots, Google's bots, all the search engine bots, when they scan your website, they can use those elements that you for as a starting point to determine whether this page is about this, and then obviously the next stage is displaying the content that's related to it.
Got it.
Okay, that's a really good transition into talking about keywords and really just how do you go about choosing keywords for your company and then how do you go about implementing them and getting them on your website, and where should they be on your website and things like this?
Right. So keywords, and again, everybody has a totally different mindset of how they approach keyword optimization. To me, If you're a roofer, if you're a landscaper, if you're a doctor, chiropractor, there's only one way you can explain your business. And when you explain it, you're pretty much touching on all those keywords that represent how people search online. So I always say start with that, right? Start with the content that's going to describe your business, and you should hit most of the keywords that you're going after. And then leverage tools online like Google Keyword Planner to really find out exactly how people are searching. And then go back to your content and change that content to really hone in on those types of searches, right? So I usually, stress on that. I would start with the content first, then go to the keyword side of it, and then optimize your content based on those keywords that you search. And really you want is best you can to provide those keywords above the fold, right? Above the fold is just that viewing area that you first land on your site. Obviously, more rich content up there that's relevant to those keywords is going to provide better rankings. And, again, people can go lost, go down a rabbit hole trying to find the perfect keyword and spend all this time stuffing keywords into your website. You mentioned alt tags earlier, trying to put keywords in all their alt tags, over-optimizing their website, which ultimately may harm them. I would start with describing what you do, how you do it well, and what makes you different. And once you're at that stage, then go out and use the tools like Keyword Planner and other tools out there to figure out how people are searching and use that knowledge to enhance the content you created.
Okay. Yeah, good point. You mentioned, maybe stuffing too many keywords. Is there how do you know what's the appropriate amount of keywords to use on your website or in your content?
Again, if you just go down the path of creating quality content that really represents what your business does and explain it in a way that a human wants to read it, you'll never get down that path of stuffing too many keywords, right? You're just going to explain it properly. Now, you may find out that people are searching, popular widget ABC, and in your text you put widget ABC. You may want to add popular in front of that, because that's how people are searching specifically for that. Or maybe add a little bit more content about why yours is so popular or more popular than the others or better, to purchase from, right? So, it's really, to me, I've been doing this since 2009. There've been on so many different changes on Google and so many different changes on how people rank. If you stay consistent about high quality content, producing content that's related to the topic, you should cover all the keywords that people are searching for. And then you get more advanced by analyzing how people are searching and alter your content related to that. So I would completely stay clear of stuffing any types of keywords. I would look at, okay, my title of my page is widget ABC. Well, obviously I need to have widget ABC in there, and maybe someone searching, best widget ABC, I'm going to include the word best in that, and just really keep that mindset on that.
John, you had mentioned, or you said the word consistent. What is consistent content in terms of a time frame? Like, are you using it, putting content once a week, twice a week, once a month? What is a consistent amount of time frame?
Right. So I always break this down, right? So a business comes to us and says, hey, I have a new website. I want to rank on the first page of Google. Well, that's great. That's going to take you 6 months, 3 to 6 months. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but that doesn't mean you can't generate leads. And so I always go back to the mindset of consistency. And so what happens, right? So you're a new website. It may take some time for your site to rank, may take some time to get some authority, may take some time for Google to even recognize the ability for you to rank. Well, you can get your brand and visibility through content on a consistent basis, because what happens is obviously Google's in business by providing content on a fresh new content to their users. They're in business to have the source that everybody comes to, right? So if you create a new article that's fresh and new, that's going to get indexed and has a potential to rank for whatever keywords the topic's about for a very short period of time, maybe 3-4 days. What happens is that article is no longer fresh. You don't have any authority, so the article disappears from the search results. Well, if you're doing that every day, every week, now what's happening is these pieces of content are ranking, and then they're going away. Well, over time, they create authority, which then backlinks to your website, which creates authority. Now you're showing up in results. So we leverage content to generate leads, create topics that are relevant to the buyer who's searching, producing that content on a regular basis. I recommend, depending on it always goes down to your competition. If you have no competition, you may not have to produce much content. But if you're a chiropractor in Los Angeles, producing content on a daily basis is a volume that most people can't achieve. But once they see the return on investment from it and the leads you can generate early on from quality content, it makes more sense. So, I mean, consistency to me, if you're doing once a month, it's light, right? Once a week is better, multiple times a week. But see here, the key here is not just consistency on your blog and content on your website. It's sharing that content on social media. And there's a lot of elements to that as far as building the right audience, who's going to share your content. Obviously, you know, when I go back and talk about SEO, content marketing, and social media marketing, the social piece is really around a popularity, right? So if your article is popular, people are sharing it, Google's going to rank that, right? Google wants people to see that, which creates more authority, more backlinks, more relevancy, which at the end of the day, what do we really want? When someone searches for widget ABC, they find your website. And that's really just the kind of the cycle of consistency that you need to have to make that work.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for touching on that. I was just about to ask you about the term domain authority and how it relates to SEO, but you touched on it pretty well there. So
yeah, I got a question too. Kind of talked about backlinks. I know in the past, with SEO, backlinks were a crucial piece to driving higher rankings on search engines. How crucial are backlinks, internal links in today when trying to rank for SEO?
They're huge, and it's not the amount anymore. It's about the quality, right? So, you know, if you have a website that has high authority, and really authority, if you look at how people rank and how they search, most have good authority on their domains. And the authority, just imagine you sell widget ABC, and there's a site that's educating you on widget ABC, and they link to you. Right? That's creating high quality content over here, creating authority that's passing to your website. So you could go out and have 10 websites that have high domain authority that are linking to your website, and that's enough in most cases to rank you on a local market. Right? So backlinks are huge, but it's the quality of backlinks. It's the kind of backlinks, and it's not the volume. So, you know, we try and really for our clients and when we produce content marketing strategies, it's about creating the content people are going to share. Oftentimes it's your competition, it's industry experts, there's people in there that need, because you can't produce enough content on a daily basis. You have to share other people's content. So sharing other people's content and creating an audience to where they're more likely to share your content when you actually publish it, that's going to produce that authority. Those are the backlinks that they're sharing a reference. The greatest backlink that I see is when someone has a great blog that's in your niche, you write a great article, they write a summary of that and link to you. I mean, that's the kind of backlinks that you're looking for, right? People that are sharing your content, producing that on your platform, on their platform or their websites.
So then what's the difference between sharing content and duplicating content?
Right. So duplicating content would be, right? Well, so duplicated content would be I take your content and repurpose it on my website. You know, and again, a lot of people have so many different views on duplicate content. The reality is that Google doesn't want the same article on two different sources, because if I search for widget ABC and I read an article about how powerful widget ABC is, and then I back out of Google and find the same article, that's not a good user experience. So Google is not going to show all of those. They're going to show one. So technically it is a penalty because that's the only one that's shown. The sharing content is not taken and republishing it on your website. Sharing content is referencing it and linking out to it. So on your Facebook profiles, Twitter profiles, you're going to retweet a great article about widget ABC. It just so happens everybody in your audience is looking for widget ABC or interested in widget ABC. So that content is appealing to them. Regardless of where the source goes, you felt it's quality, you're going to share it. That's the kind of stuff that goes on all day long. That really have a huge impact on your rankings and the ability to create authority on your website.
To get rankings, I know that Google has to crawl your website, index your website. What is the difference between crawling and indexing?
Well, so Google's going to crawl and determine whether your website's worthy enough to be indexed, right? There's people that build websites that never get indexed because they're off topic, they're spammy, they're not relevant, those types of things, or they're just technically not sound to be able to be indexed, right? But crawling your website, at that point, they're going to give initial, you know, value of your site on how you rank, and you're going to get indexed, right? So to me, a lot of people go out and try to, you know, build links to get exposure to their website so they get indexed. I'm the complete opposite, right? It's create content, share it on social media, people link to it. Eventually, you're going to get indexed pretty quickly. I mean, it's pretty fast. So I'm less worried about teaching people on how to get indexed, more worried about teaching them how to produce content that will get them indexed.
Right. Sounds like a lot of it is coming back to just quality content.
No, it is. I mean, again, like I said, it's no secret. It's inbound marketing without the paid part of it. You can add the paid layer and create the closed loop piece of it, but creating content, sharing it on social media, building an audience, and connecting with people that will actually share your content is really how you get your website ranked. I mean, on a local level, it's a little different. A little element to it. On a local level, you got to create what are called local citations. Those are essentially backlinks, right, that are proving that you have a local business, that match your address, your phone number, your website address. Those are key elements on a local level, but it still just comes down to it. I'm an industry expert. I'm going to prove it by producing high-quality content that people are going to link to, and I'm going to look popular on the internet. So Google's going to want to rank me because I'm more relevant and I'm more fresh to their users, which ultimately is what they're interested in.
Right. And consistent as well, it sounds like, too.
Yeah, it's consistency. I mean, you go stale, and there's other factors, too. You have to have responsive websites. Your website has to load properly. That goes all in that optimization layer, right? So, people completely drop the ball on image size, image quality, load time. There's a lot to that. But once you have your foundation set up, at that point, it's just consistent content, active on social media. I always tell everybody, too, focus on top 3. Don't go out and build 25 profiles on social media and try to maintain it. Pick out 3 of them. Be really good at 3 of them.
Good advice. Okay.
Yeah, so quality and consistency, it seems to keep coming back to that. I want to touch on timing. Once you do have your SEO set up and you're focusing on your top 3, what does it look like? When can you start to actually see, your company coming up on the first page of Google, or start to actually see some of these things working for you?
Yeah, so great question. I mean, and again, there's a huge variable to that, because you can have a great domain that has huge authority, but you have a terrible website that's not mobile friendly, that doesn't load well, doesn't have enough content. You build a new website, you make it responsive, you put all the content in it, you do all the stuff you need to get set up, and then all of a sudden, a week later, you're just really reaping the benefits of having an old website that's been out there, that's been updated and looks new and fresh. So those are the scenarios where it doesn't take what I'm about to explain that normally takes, right? So most clients, I tell them it takes 3 to 6 months. I stress on this, though. Google's not the only place you generate leads, right? You generate leads in social media. You generate leads from content being shared. You generate leads in so many different ways online. The ranking standpoint, 3 to 6 months, if you're doing it consistently, depending on your market, you may have to increase that consistency. But everything you produce in week 1 is going to benefit month 4, month 5, month 6, right? So, and what ends up happening is more people like that content, more people link to it, creates authority back to your domain, which again, we're in this business to produce content that's relevant and makes most sense for your audience. But really, what are we in business for? To get our website on the first page, right? When people search. And those are just the steps you got to take to make it happen.
John, thank you so much for taking time with us. We appreciate it. How can customers get a hold of you if they want to learn more or use SeedLogix to drive SEO for their company?
Yeah, I appreciate that. So it's a little bit different on the landscape. So SeedLogix.com is more of a platform designed for marketing agencies, large multi-locational businesses, or franchises and agent-based organizations. But we have our own local agency that does inbound marketing, and that's actually called IgnitedLocal.com. And so it's our own agency that uses our software, but you can come to SeedLogix.com and learn about our platform and how you can use it for your own business, or if you'd rather just have a hands-off approach and have us do it for you, IgnitedLocal.com is more the route for you.
Sounds good. John, thanks so much. We appreciate your time.
Yeah.
No problem, Jay.
Thank you very much.
No problem, Jay. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, thank you again for watching. Next week, we're going to be meeting with Tony Vita, our very own Tony Vita. He's one of our IT leaders. We're going to be talking about how to get through on the phone or whatever way to that IT leader, how to get them to take your call, have a meeting, some of the things that have worked for him, and some of the things that he's seen work for some of his peers. But until then, we live, baby.